What's going on, you guys? So today I got a little bit of a different video for you. You could call this a review, but I call it more of just like, finally I got maybe one of the biggest holy grail items probably ever. And this is just something I could never get as a kid. I know you've seen the thumbnail, I know you've seen, the description, all that, but still in the box. I still want to test it out to make sure it plays the US versions. But with all that, let's just go ahead finally and get into this beauty. So let's go, let's get into it. All right, so we got it open, got the flaps. Very interested to see how he packed this. It looks pretty well off right here. So, okay, so he's pretty much got it covered. And man, oh man, look at that. So I see a little bit of a mark that was almost like somebody tried to almost punch through, but it didn't. So it's still fully intact. You could just see where it was beginning to split. Here I can see like a lined indentation. We got to be a little bit critiquey just because this was, an after retail purchase, and you never know what all is different from the actual listing. So that's just the first impression. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out. Alrighty, so here we go. And I'm sorry if you guys hear anything. I actually got the long people out front, but right here we got it full outer shell box. Now what I did notice, and I did not see in the picture, but it's totally okay, is that the bottom is not the actual cardboard box but a styrofoam piece, and that's okay. The having just the styrofoam piece is okay. The top part is more important to me because I can figure out whether it was a white bottom box or a brown bottom box and just find that bottom, or if it was maybe a special bottom and it's orange or yellow. But to me, that's all irrelevant at this point. We got the full outer shell box and it looks pretty darn good for a console that was supposed to have come out, I believe, 2001, 2099. So this looks pretty darn good. It is obviously the Japanese version Nintendo. I found this on a listing. I was able to get rid of a bunch of duplicate cards that I had. I know everybody's going crazy for the Pokemon and all that stuff, but some extra DBZ cards I had actually were something. So I had got a handful of those, sold those, and I was actually able to trade in my black Nintendo 64 because those have garnered some value, and that actually helped with a big chunk of this. Only had to come out a pocket, around under 100 after everything is said and done. So no more waiting. Let's get right into it. So here goes the box. I'm gonna set that to the side right here. And this looks good. Maybe needs a little dusting. We have the power cord, and I don't see anything different about this one than I do any other ones. It's in English and stuff, so maybe this was a piece together item. I don't know if the battery pack for the Japanese exclusive CHU ones are different. Here goes the cord. It's actually a pretty hefty, longer cord. I like that. And it's both the actual Nintendo brand. There's actually some aftermarket stocks, aftermarket makes of these items. So all Nintendo so far. And here is number one, and the orange Nintendo Pikachu Nintendo 64 controller. It has the Thunderbolts. The controller stick seems very firm. This is definitely going to be one I don't know if I'll necessarily use too often. I want to keep it in the condition it's in. I do know fixing the sticks on 64 controllers are a doable thing in case I do want to use it, but of course I'm gonna have to try it out. Of course, every once in a while I'm gonna be obviously using it, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. I don't see any blemishes on this controller. I don't see any problems with any of the wire. I like that he wrapped it how you're supposed to, and not like suffocating it how we did as kids. There's certain things you did back then that you don't want to do, especially with something like this. And the orange controller piece to actually plug in the console is, you know, the port piece looks really good. So the controller, all the wires so far look really, really good. Man, I'm so juiced for this, man. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, so we got one. So here we go. Let's just start there. We got the Pikachu orange Japanese exclusive. We have the reset button with the foot. That seems to be just fine. And then what I love best is this Pokeball on and off switch, and it actually will make his cheeks red. So one thing that I see that looks a little different than the picture is something that is a little finicky to me, just because not that I'm like a sticker collector for Pops or any of the figures, but I like the consoles to have all the original stuff if they can help it. And I see this one has a little bit of nicks and blemishes and stuff like that, so I'm gonna have to be really careful. I will plan on using this 64. I will try to keep it up as much as I possibly can if I'm not using it. Man, this has been a big hunt item for me. The console itself may have one like blemish line. I don't really see anything crazy. There's no marks on the Pikachu. Golly, guys, man, I could go on and on and on and on for days. The front of the logo is not just a blank, boring Nintendo 64 logo that you see in the corner, but they still managed to get it on there. Oh, it looks good. It looks really good, man, and I cannot wait to go test this out. Hopefully, it is as like the guy described to me that he was able to help me out. So, crazy story before we wrap up, and I show you the 5 holy trinities, which isn't even a thing because it's 3, but you know what I mean. Like, this is the fantastic 5 games that you need for this console. But the eBay seller that I got this from, he actually has been selling on eBay since 2001. He does not have not one negative review. He seems to be like a genuine collector, seller, trader, buyer of all things video games, like hardcore, crazy amounts of complete in-box stuff that I've seen. So I'm sure he has stuff for his own personal collection. And I seen the listing, and I had actually already got it. Went back and was so excited, was just reading the listing, make sure it was this, that, what came with it, what didn't. And I noticed that the actual listing said it was it's Japanese only, and they did not mod it at all to be able to play the US title game. So I was like, well, sorry guy, you know what I mean? I have a pretty good eBay rating, and I might get a crappy one because I didn't know that this was not going to be able to play the US one. So I understand if, you know what I mean, you gotta give me a bad rating, but I guess I might have to cancel it. He's like, oh no, actually I can pop it open and take the 2 clips out that make it region free or what have you, that keep it to a certain region. And I was like, oh well, snap, if you can do that, that'll be awesome. So he actually was like, well, anytime I'm able to bring out this tool I got to use this, it would be a great experience for me. So it was no problem at all. He propped it open. He said he used, I can't remember which game exactly he used to test it out. So now it is on me. It all looks good. After this video, I'm gonna be popping some stuff in, making sure they all work. It's not limited to certain games. But with that being said, we're gonna hop into the Fantastic 5, man. The 5 games you need to have in order to enjoy this to the max. Not really, but you know, it sounds good. First off, we're gonna start with, I guess, the cheaper one. I guess the one that frustrates people the most. I'm still waiting to play it. I have the microphone and I have the game, and I'm waiting for the voice recognition. If you can't guess by those things, we have CHU Pikachu for the Nintendo 64. 100% legit, authentic. Gotta make sure those carts are legit. You don't want to get a repro of anything. And I guess 64s aren't really bad for repros, but you still always want the legit one. I cannot wait to pop this in here. You see how good that's gonna look? Just look at it. Pikachu on Pikachu. It's beautiful. And I heard that it's probably one of the most frustrating Pikachu or Pokemon games, period, just because the microphone does not pick up what you're saying quite clearly. And also what I noticed watching some playthroughs, which were fun, that's another reason why I want to do. I want to experience what's going on in the game and just have fun being frustrated. Is just Pikachu doesn't really get what you're saying, so you got to be really direct with certain things, and I think that's funny, and I can't wait for that experience. Next up is one that I enjoyed playing as a kid, and I think we briefly had. I know I played it 100%. I can't remember if a friend in the neighborhood had it or we actually had it for a brief stint there, and that is Pokemon Puzzle League. This is an older one too. This came around the time Pokemon Stadium 1 came out and Pokemon Snap, and those are ones we'll get to obviously, but Pokemon Puzzle League is probably the old school Tetris Candy Crush, if you will. That's the best way I can describe it. And this is another game that is complete, authentic. I actually have some sparklet tape from somebody, obviously from way back when. That's how it's kind of embedded in a piece. I actually like that. That's no problem with me. Nothing on the front. This is something you got to pick up and at least play and try. You battle people Tetris style, Gary, Misty, Brock, whoever. So love it. Love to have it. Next up, we have Pokemon Stadium 1, and this is a gym. I don't know if you guys know, but this is, people have been going after the cards, and now the video games are being targeted like I knew they would. And I've actually had this for about 3 or 4 years now. This exact cartridge. This is the full, authentic, legit one, and I'm glad I got it way before the hype, and I can't wait to test this out on the console, really get into it. Some of my favorite features on this is being able to hook the adapter piece, which I do have in the bottom of the 64 controller, which will allow you to play Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow. And I think that's one of the coolest things, as well as transferring Pokemon, the mini games. You can't go wrong with Pokemon Stadium. Pokemon Stadium is definitely just where it's at. Next up, and this excites me because I know the release is coming next week, and we have Pokemon Snap, the original OG authentic cartridge. Cannot stress that enough. Got to do your research on it, even if you don't necessarily have the tool, which is obviously the for sure way to check to make sure these are legit. But do your research on the cartridge and make sure you're getting also authentic cards, because you don't want to miss out on having the authentic one before. I really do believe all these Pokemon games are just gonna go crazy, and right now this is sitting at like maybe 30. 6 months to a year ago, you could get it from $9 to $20, and that's shipped or at your local shop. So Pokemon Snap, can't wait to add this on the game playing. I already beat it about a year ago, and it's pretty short game, but has a lot of fun replayable parts, and I can't wait to see the difference between that and the new one. Last and definitely not least, and most likely just for me, my favorite, it's hard because it does the same features as the first Stadium, but we got Pokemon Stadium 2, and I love it so much because we finally got my boy Lugia in there. I'm on Team Lugia, Team Zard, that's where it's at. Pokemon Stadium 2 for 64 has all those same features. They just enhanced it, made it better, cleaner, easier to get to, and like I said, looks good in this console. Can't wait to test all this stuff out, man. I mean, like even like it's just all like, even this looks fresh. The actual, like, I guess old school hard drive piece, which you call for the 64 to get it to play the games. You guys, that's it. That's all I got. We got a pretty good box here. The original styrofoam piece, that's literally 3/4 of the battle if you have just the console. We got that in. I'm a happy man. I can't complain. I can't complain. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I got some gaming to do. I gotta test some stuff out. So I see y'all again. Pops, Figures, Hunt. video games. Who knows what's next? Make sure y'all come by. Take it easy. Thank you.